Hello everybody and welcome to the regular season finale for our 2025 NR2003 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. I'm giving you a quick refresher here in the standings going in. 6 drivers locked in the playoffs with wins. Ben Rhodes and Tanner Gray looking good on points. Connor Mozak comes in 9th plus 22 above the cut line. Grant Enfinger sits on the bubble just 10 points above the cut line, trying to get redemption from last year. Then Ruggiero right there outside by 10. Caden Honeycutt enters out by 18. Andres Perez out by 30. Jake Garcia out by 39. And Tyler Ankrum and everybody else in a must-win scenario. So welcome to the Richmond Raceway of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Euro 250 and our regular season finale, where we will decide our 10 drivers in the playoffs, which will begin at Darlington in 2 weeks as we are green and underway here at Richmond Raceway. Lane Riggs leads us to the green flag over Christian Eckes, making his season debut in the number 16. But it is Riggs and Chandler Smith, the front row motorsports trucks, running 1 and 2 early here in Richmond as Lane Riggs tries to get a victory lane for the 3rd time this season. Of course, wins earlier in the season at Homestead and Rockingham, but Lane Riggs leads the opening lap of racing here at Richmond over Christian Eckes and Chandler Smith here in the regular season finale. Just to drive away from Christian Eckes, which he will do for now until lap 6. He's catching our first lap truck, the 41 of Matthew Gould, with some problems so far in this race, and that truck had to come down for an unscheduled pit stop. He now goes 3 laps down off the pace. Riggs continuing to dominate early in this one, and now his lead though on lap 16 has been jeopardized. Here comes Christian Eckes in the 16 to the inside lane using Norm Betting, his slow truck as a pick, and now Christian Eckes will take the lead for the first time today here at Richmond as he drives by Lane Riggs. Eckes to the point, and he is through now, trying to find his way to victory lane for the first time since, of course, his incredible Craftsman Truck Series Championship 4 run his season ago. Now here comes our defending champion, the 98 of Ty Majeski, to the inside of Eckes here on lap number 28, and Majeski will take the lead here at Richmond. Of course, Majeski has the win at Martinsville, but will enter the playoffs with 0 playoff points because of his suspension. Him missing Pocono after he wrecked Stuart Friesen at Michigan, so therefore Majeski will start with 0 playoff points, but at least he's still in the playoffs to defend his championship as he's had a comfortable lead here to later in the run. Here comes our regular season champion, the 11 of Corey Heim, of course, already clinched that regular season title, been such a dominant season, looking to only continue that today, leading some laps, trying to get another playoff point to his total as he's trying to lap the 88 of Matt Crafton, the 45 of Bailey Curry. Here, which they will shortly, but Majeski cannot get that momentum he needs on the outside lane. That'll open the door for Corey Heim to get right back to the inside lane. This battle for the lead continues. Can Corey Heim clear Ty Majeski here in Richmond? Lane Riggs in 3rd, trying to make something happen as he closes in, but it'll be Corey Heim to the race lead here in Richmond, trying to make it Heim time once again as he will clear Riggs and Majeski and set his sights here on victory lane. But now here comes Lane Riggs back to the inside of Corey Heim on just a few laps later, and now Riggs back to the point here in Richmond as Riggs now going to try to clear Corey Heim as he led early the first 20 laps or so, then lost the lead to Christian Eckes. Now he's trying to get it back from the 11 of Corey Heim, who's going to get blocked by Matt Crafton on exit of turn 4, and Lane Riggs will return to the race lead here at Richmond late in stage number 1. And right here on lap 40, a big moment here. They're lapping a bubble driver, and Connor Mozak comes into the race plus 22 to the cut line. Mozak running outside the top 20, now 1 lap down, could be detrimental to his playoff hopes. Here we are on the final lap of stage 1. Lane Riggs going to bring home the stage 1 win and a playoff point. Lane Riggs wins stage 1 in Richmond over Ty Majeski, Daniel Hemrick, Corey Heim, and Caden Honeycutt. The top 5 followed by Christian Eckes, Chandler Smith, Grant Enfinger, Gio Ruggiero here will come through 9th, and Tyler Ankrum will earn the final stage point. So huge points for Enfinger and Honeycutt as we run now. For the bubble drivers, Ben Rhodes is almost locked in at plus 39. Tanner Gray is plus 31. Connor Mozak is plus 20. Grant Enfinger is plus 11. Ruggiero minus 11. And Honeycutt minus 12. As we begin this second and final stage of racing, second out of 3 stages of racing. Riggs and Majeski, the front rows, get back underway here in Richmond. Lane Riggs seems to have the best truck so far here tonight, and he will clear Ty Majeski for the race lead. Lane Riggs to the point, but Majeski fights back on the outside down the back straightaway, trying to establish control, but the momentum on exit of 4 just too much, and Lane Riggs in control here in Richmond as he is going to clear Ty Majeski here into turn 1 and try to set his sails on a stage sweep here tonight. But now Majeski gets to the inside of Lane Riggs as they catch up to the 84 of Patrick Staropoli, and here comes Ty Majeski to the race lead for the first time tonight here in Richmond. Majeski to the point here in stage number 2, using Staropoli as a pick, gets the lead away from Lane Riggs. Now Riggs the crossover to the inside of Ty Majeski here on lap number 90 to get the lead back. How about the 52 of Caden Honeycutt in 3rd place, and now Homar Friesen truck having a tremendous run, now going for the race lead. Can Honeycutt win his way into the playoffs as he gets to the inside of Lane Riggs, trying to use Tony Breidinger as an opportunity to get the lead away. Riggs back to the outside lane. It's going to all depend on what lane Tony decides to choose here into turn 3. She decides to block Honeycutt, and that will allow Lane Riggs to go through back to the race lead, as he will pull away from Honeycutt and Hemrick here to reestablish control of this race, only to get passed by both Majeski and Christian Eckes thanks to Norm Bending. So now Eckes back to the lead for the second time here tonight. Nathan Bird out of the race in the 02 truck with a mechanical failure. Now Eckes gets held up by Jake Garcia. Conveniently, that's Ty Majeski's teammate, which allows Majeski to get back to the race lead. So now Majeski leads Chandler Smith here with 10 to go in stage number 2 at Richmond. Can Majeski bring home the stage win here? Which, of course, the playoff point will not do him any good, as he, remember, we'll start the playoffs with 0 playoff points thanks to that penalty and that suspension for him missing the race at Pocono to his actions earlier in the year, taking out Stuart Friesen at Michigan. Now it is Chandler Smith taking the race lead from Majeski. Now Chandler Smith tries to get a stage win, only to get passed by Ty Majeski as they lap the 77 truck of Corey LaJoy. And now Ty Majeski once again back to the race lead now with just 5 to go in the stage. Now here we are coming to, I believe this will be the end of stage number 2 here this time by, and Ty Majeski will win stage 2 here in Richmond over Christian Eckes, Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith, and Daniel Hemrick the top 5. Caden Honeycutt 6th, Corey Himes 7th, Grant Enfinger will be 8th, followed up by Gio Ruggiero in 9th, and it looks like Ben Rhodes will clutch up and get a stage point. So Ben Rhodes and Tanner Gray have both clinched their way into the playoffs on points. Connor Mozak currently is down to just plus 14 above the cut line. Grant Enfinger 10 points above Honeycutt. Ruggiero 12 points below the cut line here in this final stage. As we are green and underway in the 3rd and final stage at Richmond, it is Christian Eckes and Ty Majeski once again in the front row here as they battle for the lead here tonight in this regular season finale from Richmond. But Honeycutt and Enfinger, with the positions they have on Mozak, the 81 being trapped multiple laps down, they might be able to both find their way into the playoffs and bump the 81 out. We will see how this all transpires, but Majeski trying to clear Christian Eckes with 116 laps remaining here in Richmond for the lead, and he will. Ty Majeski, our leader once again here tonight in Richmond. But now a shot there from the 38. Here comes Chandler Smith to the inside of Ty Majeski. Almost 3 wide. Yes, we are 3 wide for the lead here in Richmond. Christian Eckes, Ty Majeski, and Chandler Smith getting after it. No one wants to give up the lead here tonight in Richmond. They all want to get the extra 5 playoff points for winning the race. And Chandler Smith will drive his way to the race lead using the 41 of Gould as the pick. He will take the lead away from Ty Majeski and try to go to victory lane for just the 2nd time this season. Now here comes the 19 of Daniel Hemrick to the inside, 90 to go, and Hemrick wants to get back-to-back short track wins. Of course, remember, Hemrick got the job done in overtime at IRP, stealing that one back from Gio Ruggiero, and now Hemrick trying to hold on, but now he gets blocked in by Bailey Curry, which will allow Christian Eckes in the 16 having a phenomenal run here tonight to get back to the race. Now here comes the 9 of Grant Enfinger fighting for 3rd. The 9 needs every point, and he's getting after it. He does get the position, but now Eckes held up by the 22 truck of Malazzi. That'll allow Chandler Smith to go back to the race lead. Majeski follows him, only to cross him over as they look to put Connor Mozak in the 81. Yet another lap down, costing Mozak crucial positions and points here in this race. He just hasn't had the pace he thought he would have, and this could very well be the end of his season, considering Honeycutt and Enfinger are running both in the top 6. And now Riggs has gotten by Majeski with 33 laps to go. And we have also started a green flag pit stop cycle here A lot of the leaders have pitted. Heim, Eckes, a lot of other good trucks pitted, trying to make the strategy work. Majeski in the lead here back, but now Riggs with 9 to go to the inside of Majeski. Could this be the pass for the win? 9 laps to go. Here comes Lane Riggs trying to get by Ty Majeski to win this race. They got the lap trucks of Brent Cruz, Carson Quaffle, and Tanner Gray right there in front of them, but Lane Riggs will drive his way for now to the inside of Majeski. Can he clear him? Not quite. 8 to go. He does now. White flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank here at Richmond Raceway with a 34 of Lane Riggs, looking to cap off a dominant performance with his 3rd win of the season, carrying some big momentum into the Craftsman Truck Series playoffs. I believe where they're running, Mozak is in trouble of being eliminated, as Lane Riggs will dominate and win at Richmond. 2nd place will be Ty Majeski. Coming home in 3rd will be Grant Enfinger. He will make the playoffs. Caden Honeycutt 4th will make the playoffs. And Daniel Hemrick rounds out the top 5 on the lead lap. Then Quaffle 6th, Cruz 7th, Heim 8th, Sammy Smith and Rasha Caruth round out the top 10. So Lane Riggs gets his 4th career win. He will lead 97 laps on the night here in Richmond. As you now look at your final race results, Riggs with the fastest lap of the race, as well as a big win here to cap off the regular season. Majeski, a great effort in 2nd. Enfinger 3rd place, gets enough points. He will advance to the playoffs. Caden Honeycutt in 4th, beats Mozak, who finished 20th by 16 spots. That gets him in by 2 points. Mozak is out. Hemrick rounds out the top 5, then Quaffle, Cruz, Heim, Sammy Smith, and Caruth the top 10. Heim, of course, our regular season champion. Corey LaJoy comes home in 13th. Ben Rhodes and Tanner Gray, both the top 15 finishes. They will make the playoffs. They already had the points cushions that they needed. Unfortunately, Ruggiero in 14th. He will be out, as will Tyler Ankrum in 16th. As you see the final race results there through the rest of the grid. Now the final regular season point standings update. Heim, the regular season champion with 5 wins. And yes, Enfinger makes it in by 11 points. Tanner Gray makes it by 16. Rhodes made it by 29. And Caden Honeycutt, with a tremendous drive for both him and that Hallmark Friesen Racing team, gets in by 2 points over Connor Mozak to get himself into the playoffs. And Mozak chokes it away, misses it by 2 points. Ruggiero out by 14. Perez, Garcia, Ankrum had to win. Just wasn't in the cards for them this season. Now we'll head to our first ever look at the playoff grid this season. The 10 trucks, we know who our 10 trucks will be competing for the championship. Darlington, Bristol, New Hampshire, the 3 tracks in the round of 10. Corey Heim, the regular season champion, a huge 44-point gap. He should be all set really to go all the way to Phoenix. Lane Riggs, Raja Caruth, Heinrich still looking pretty comfortable with those cushions. Chandler Smith +9 in 5th. Rhodes +5. Enfinger, Tanner Gray tied to the cut line, 2 points above Caden Honeycutt. And of course Majeski, with that penalty, 0 playoff points, is 4 points below the cut line, entering our first race of the truck playoffs at Darlington in 2 weeks. Should be a heck of a run to the championship in Phoenix. So that will do it for this episode. Congrats to Lane Riggs on the win. And as we conclude, I always want to give a shout out to my channel members. So thank you so much to JJ, Brenda Breen, and Jeremy Isley. Really appreciate your guys' support. Means a ton to me. Helps this channel and I continue to grow, produce some awesome content. Now pushing towards 2,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you are watching and are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds. I would really, really appreciate it. If you want to get your shout out here at the end of the video like these 3 and become a paid channel member, link is in the description down below. And until 2 weeks from now for the playoff opener at Darlington, I hope you all have a good one.